Yuwen Yue frowned and said with some uneasiness, "What are you looking at? You're like a fool." As he finished his sentence, he took his seat beside her. As the waves formed around the boat, the birds flew across the red sky. The winds blew at their sleeves, causing them to flutter in the air like butterflies. "Xinger, why did you change your name to Chu Xiao?" Yuwen Yue asked. Chu Xiao turned around and replied, "Because I'm not Jingyue. My original name was Chu Xiao. I died before. After that, how do I put it? As all of you claim, my spirit took its place in Jingyue's body. After I escaped, I changed my name back." Yuwen Yue did not expect her to answer in this way as he was stunned. After a long while he muttered, "What about the first time I saw you then? I had just possessed her for a few days. I was about to escape." Yuwen Yue nodded and lowered his head, seemingly using all his effort to think about the credibility of her claims. "Hey, don't tell me you really believe this?" Chu Xiao was stunned as she had thought that her words were absurd. She remembered that she had told Yan Sun this once when they were young. He had thought that her brain had been damaged by a fever. Then he proceeded to feed her a bowl of medicine. From then on, she had not mentioned this ever again. "I believe you." Yuwen Yue looked at her with a bizarre expression on his face as he frowned. "Why not? I investigated your background before. The servants had said that your character had changed after you returned from the human hunting session. I thought that you had been shocked then. Now that I see it, your explanation makes more sense." Yuwen Yue nodded and accepted her explanation as he continued. "No wonder. I didn't have your wit nor your ruthlessness when I was 7 or 8 years old. That's because you weren't 7 or 8. Don't tell me you were 70 or 80 when you died." Chu Xiao was unable to comprehend his logic as she remarked in disbelief, I was 27. 27? Yuwen Yue frowned and remarked unhappily, "That's quite old already. Were you married? Did you have any children? Was it 27 years old enough?" "Not really," Chu Xiao honestly replied. 27 would not be considered old in my time. In my culture, people generally marry very late. Where is your hometown? The Liang Empire? The Wei Empire? Since you had such strong feelings for Yanbei, could you have actually been born in Yanbei?" As he talked about it, Yuwen Yue's face suddenly changed as he anxiously asked, "Could you be Yan Sun's mother? Considering the timing, she should be older." Chu Xiao was lost as to what reaction she should have. She explained, "I am from a different world, and am not in the same space-time continuum as you. My world is in a parallel world. Not only we were initially separated by space, we are also separated by time. It would be impossible for us to go over. Do you understand?" She tried her best to explain to Yuwen Yue, and hoped that she was able to convey the meaning to him in a manner he could understand. As she tried to gesture, she wanted to give him a good analogy, but was unable to come up with a good one. But she had underestimated Yuwen Yue's comprehension ability. The man frowned lightly and asked, "So it is like an apple tree. I am the leaves in spring, and you are the leaves in autumn?" Chu Xiao was stunned. She had never thought that he would able to come with such an apt analogy, and quickly agreed, "You are half right. There is not just time, there is also space. Do you understand?" "That is." Yuwen Yue nodded and casually said, "So I am apple leaves in spring, and you are oranges in autumn?" Chu Xiao completely was stunned, as she stayed dumbfounded for a long time, and finally nodded indeed. And then Yuwen Yue turned around and continued to look at the waves and river. The setting sun shone on his face, bathing him in a golden glow. Chu Xiao could not help but to feel a sense of amazement. Seeing how calm he could be even after hearing this story, she was utterly impressed by his mental fortitude and wisdom, remaining so firm. He did not seem too interested and did not ask questions like, "What do people in your world look like?" or "How many eyes your people have?" or "Do the people in your world look like beasts and grow hair all over their bodies?" As though only people of this world were worthy of being so beautiful, having a perfect face, while other world was comprised of beasts. This was true calmness, unwavering even when faced with a catastrophe. "So, what do the people in your world look like? How many eyes do your people have?" After the silence, a certain man who was thought to be full of wisdom seemed ever so interested as he asked, "Could it be that you people are like beasts and are covered in fur? I have seen some people in the southern border like that. Could they be your distant relatives?" Chu Xiao took in a deep breath and started to educate Yuwen Yue about the knowledge of her world. The sun had already set. A round moon climbed to the top of the mountain, spraying the world in ripples of silver. In the gentle breeze of the lake, Chu Xiao suddenly felt like writing some poetry. She heaved a deep sigh and said, "As the moon rises from the sea, we share this moment no matter the distance between us." Yuwen Yue coldly retorted, "We are not on the sea, this is a river." Chu Xiao frowned. Then as the moon hangs over the river, Yuwen Yue frowned and asked, "Let me guess, that is not your own song. You merely reused the ones back from your world, right?" Chu Xiao was completely lost for words and was completely embarrassed. As she expected, she shouldn't have started this. "Xinger!" The duo fell into silence. Yuwen Yue suddenly called out her names, and just she acknowledged him, only to hear his say, "I don't care who you were originally." Chu Xiao initially didn't understand what he meant, and as she stopped a moment to think, as she smiled, she nodded, "I know, I will always be your Xinger." Yuwen Yue shook as he lowered his head and looked at her with eyes of passion. After that, Chu Xiao immediately felt regret, as a tinge of redness crept up her face. Just as she was about to lower her face in embarrassment, Yuwen Yue stretched out 2 fingers and deftly lifted her chin while smiling and said, "Say that again." Chu Xiao tried to dodge his eyes, and completely embarrassed, she tried to avoid the topic. "What did I say?" "The sentence you just said," Yuwen Yue firmly ordered, 2 infernos in his eyes. He was not overwhelmingly passionate, but his gaze was warm. "I am yours and you are mine." Chu Xiao gathered her courage and firm stated, "In all my life, there are only 2 things that I cannot wager on no matter the circumstance. One is my faith and beliefs, the second is be my body and marriage. If you want all of me, you have to give me all of you too." Yuwen Yue flicked an eyebrow and looked at her with a strange gaze while casually asking, "Everything?" "Screw off." Chu Xiao pushed him lightly and turned her head away. "Not serious at all." "Xing." Yuwen Yue suddenly opened his arms and locked her into a tight embrace as his warmth enveloped her. "I am happy," he quietly said. "I am really happy." Chu Xiao leaned into his embrace and felt a sense of peace that she had never felt in many years. Turning around, she embraced him and quietly replied, "We should never be separated again." Yuwen Yue asked, "Are you not afraid to follow me to Zhenhuang?" "I am more scared that we will be separated. Each time we were separated, many things happened. I am worried that I will never see you again just like this time around."